See what happens when you keep your source files. Original source code, they must have. That's re-rendered. That's not like AI upscaled. No, like depth of field changes. I think that's the surefire sign. They changed the depth of field. Yeah, straight up. The animations too, even the animations that are pre-rendered on PS2 into on the remaster, it's the original animation still. Yeah, maybe on the texture level for AI upscaling. For this opening, though, it looks great. I mean, yeah, it literally has to, because they changed the colors. And those are the colors that one, that demon has in the more recent games. Yeah, good stuff. Alright, so this is another, we're looking at both pre-recorded footage for both the original, for the PS2 version and the remaster. Here is the PC version of the remaster. I have performance statistics of all the versions of the remaster, though. I can answer those questions and go over them later, but if anyone in chat pops in, I can give them an answer. Grabbed a couple things regarding the PS2 and its localization. Not terribly too much it's changed on that front, so we will get a good idea of that and the direction they took it in. Switch 2 native app. There's a Switch 2 version. There is a Switch 1 version, a Switch 2 version. It is not a free upgrade. If you have the Switch 1 version, you would have to buy the Switch 2 version again. Same with DLC. Extremely careful on that. Switch 2 version is a game key card as well. As with probably the prominent, and the Switch 1 version is not, you know, that's the prominent thing of the only Switch 2 cartridges are 64 gigabytes. And this game is like 12 gigabytes. You know, there's it's so frustrating, man, but anyway. Yeah, I'll talk about Switch now, might as well. Switch 1 versions, they have claimed it is 1080p docked and 720p, 720 between undocked, and it is between 30 to 60 FPS. On Switch 2, the Switch 1 version is a consistent 60. On Switch 2, it is both 1080, 60 on both docked and undocked. Very well. So especially if you're gonna play the game undocked, like portably, on Switch 2, you would want the Switch 2 version. Unlock 30 to 60. Yeah, it's just unlocked right out the gate. So on Switch 1, yeah, it's up to 60. Struggling there, but if you play Switch 1 version on Switch 2, you'll get the 60. Or you just play the Switch 2 version, which is 1080 60. I was reading there are noted visual things to it as well, improvements with texture quality a little higher, shadow quality a little higher. I am the head of the but otherwise, yeah, especially if you're gonna play handheld, Switch 2 is there. PS4 to PS5 is a different story. To my understanding, there is an upgrade there. You can upgrade from PS4 to PS5 if you get it. So, thinking in some ways, this game key card shit is kind of like a precursor to the future, but also these things that the PS4 and PS5, like, they're able to do there, but they're not able to do on Nintendo, then feels backwards again. Though I don't know, because there's also,
I ask.
what is it? There I'm pretty sure there were Switch 2 games that have been mentioned that, where you buy it, you put the Switch 2 cartridge into a Switch 1, it'll still load the Switch 1 version, but that's not all of them. That's selective. But anyway, we'll be revisiting that, I'm sure, multiple times, but I have the info here. A bunch of things written down. I'm gonna start out with covering things about the original, and then we'll go into all about the remaster. I got 2 hours of gameplay here of both versions, an hour and a half and an hour and 40 minutes between them. And we'll have that going as I'm just going over my precursory research of the games. That PS2 version, that's 60 FPS and it's pre-rendered backgrounds. Very nice. I was like, oh yeah, it's pre-rendered. They could probably handle that, huh?
Good.
So that's nice, especially being an action game. So, good on them for that. But yeah, let's see. In some of the first interviews I was reading about it, it was still, it was being called just Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner, as it would have been the first Devil Summoner we got. Didn't release like that on PS2. It was properly named. The only piece of content missing from the North America version was a Mahjong minigame. I don't know how much that's been documented, so I don't know how if anyone's talked about it being in the remaster. I have to fully assume it's still in the remaster, because the reason they removed it was because there was no in-game tutorial for Mahjong or explanation programmed into the game, so they couldn't translate anything to teach you how to play Mahjong. It was just in Japanese. You didn't need the tutorial, right? So they didn't put one in. And then there was no room to put the explanations in the manual either. As I was reading in the interview, they opted to let it go since the they opted to let it go since the only reward from Mahjong was just money. You know, it had no other gameplay purpose besides money. From the interview, on the bright side, there was space in the manual to include details and special contests we were running. Players could win a lithograph signed by Kaneko-san. Hopefully that'll soften the blow. I guess I'll take it. But yeah, some of these interviews that I'm going to be quoting, there's an FAQ from Atlas I'm going to talk about later. Megatengaku WordPress, old WordPress website with interviews from 20 plus years, 20 years ago. And on Digital Devil database, some E3. Okay, this interview was from after E3 that year, like 2005. So anyway, I got some of those I was looking at and look more at them later, but these were more of the notes I was took out. They were talking about literal translation of the name, as we have the Soulless Army, right? Literal was, and this is important talking about the localization going forward. The literal was Superpower Army, and they were talking about how Superpower Army, as it sounded in Japanese, superpower has like a different connotation, and that connotation just doesn't fit what the game's going for, right? So it's Soulless Army. It was interesting reading on the localization. Some of that info in particular was from Yu Namba, who was localization lead. And if anyone wouldn't know, Yu Namba, that is who the Like a Dragon character is named after. Named after him. So they sprinkled in 1920 slang to help the English audience into this era of the game. And if I could, let's see, show off the city here as see what they're talking about. Just pop forward for a second here. As to why we're talking about 1920 slang. Oh, not this part. This one? Yeah, here we go. This soundtrack's great, by the way. You're in for a treat if you haven't heard it before. So it specifically says sprinkled in 1920 slang. The way I read it and the way I've been seeing what they meant by that was when you're normally taking a game taking place in modern Japan and you have expressions that do not translate one-to-one to English because they make no sense in English, or it's wordplay that does not work in English, and you are then going to localize it with an expression that gets the same point and makes sense to the English audience. To me, it seems they did the same with sprinkling it as if it was for a 1920s aim or audio, like 1920s expressions and slang, which is still completely recognizable to us. So that's the direction they went in with it. This is like before Persona 4. So this is like one of their earlier projects between there. Hello, Rescue, welcome. So anyway, that's how it was back then, and I've seen some of that so far that I've been paying attention to is pretty much retained. Let's see. They were talking about there's an later in the game. There's an NPC that sings a famous 80s Japanese songs, but these were changed to US songs. I haven't seen in the remaster. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Japanese song now. That's not really as a prominent of a change you usually see these days. I would imagine it's a Japanese song now. There were references to SMT they left in. Remember in Persona 3, they would change them because we didn't have those games. But Victor is still in the game, even though we didn't know who that was for, I guess, till now, you know. But anyway, names like that. So it was really at like like this cornerstone in the change of localization. But yeah, so we're talking like this is all from like 2006, 2005, going into this era. So it's the changes in localization is pretty damn like minimal so far from what I've seen. Yeah, I'm real. Talk. I am not AI, and my script is not AI either. I've seen some YouTubers hit with that. It's really funny. Here, all right. Rewind a bit. We'll go back here to, that's all my notes on PS2 so far. I'm gonna go into Remaster now. This is a remake. I don't know, like, what... Remaster? Yeah, I guess we can use the term, like, as loosely as we want these days. It's in Unity. It's not Unreal, it's actually in Unity, but yeah. We got voice acting now. The original didn't have voice acting at all, Japanese or English. Whole change in the combat system. A lot of changes taken from the second Raidou game. We'll go into that in a minute. Many quality of life features. Better choice with inheriting skills on demons. Reverse and search fusion. There's a dashing. You can dash now. You can fast travel. In the original, you could fast travel back to the detective agency. In the remaster, you can fast travel wherever. Auto saves, quick saves. There are more demons in the game. You get a retry option when you game over.
I can certainly see how
when you do a battle and a demon has a weakness, when you look at your demons, it'll like put a little exclamation point by ones with a relevant weakness to them. There are objective markers now for main story content. Those aren't optional either, unfortunately, if you want those off. Side content is now organized in through the case files, and As you do those, your side quests, you are given more UI to give assistance there, so more quality of life there. You do not, with capturing demons, let me see if I can, which tutorial that is. What's going on the left right now? Not that one, this one? Yeah, with this dude. Before you would have to stun a demon by hitting it with its weakness, and then you would be able to capture it. You do not have to do that anymore. You can just go for the capture. There is also a level requirement, though so far I haven't been paying attention to it in the remaster, because the levels were adjusted anyway. There's a good bit of gameplay here I'm gonna start going into. There's also so on the left there, I'm mashing, right? You have to mash. And on the right's, yeah, I'm mashing there. There is an option in the settings to set it to a hold instead of a mash. And I think I'm gonna do that. I think mashing's cool. It's great it's still an option. I don't want to mash. I'm getting kind of tired of mashing. So I'll just set it to hold. But yeah, that's significantly easier. Like, these are many quality of life changes to the game already.
Good.
I was reading how there's the new lines of dialogue added, clarify, and expand on plot points, and added flavor text. I did not put it. I'm gonna put all of my sources here. Right, it was one of the reviews I was reading was from my friend Colin, who had a review up earlier today. Anyway, I took a look at that and saw what he had taken with it, and I'm gonna throw those into the description of the stream right now, as it is a review of the game that is on point. We're talking about it. Here, let me...
Demonstrate the secret arts of the Kuzunoha.
Okay, cool.
Show us how you command demons.
Now then, so what was the point I was saying I was going to come back to? There are now objective markers, which would give you less reason for exploring. And that would change because in the original you had random encounters. You do not have random encounters in the remake. We'll go back to those cutscenes. You could get encounters, like random encounters here in the city as you're walking around. That does not happen in the remaster. You don't get them in the remaster until you're going into the Dark Realm, essentially a dungeon. Right here. Once you're going in there, you'll actually find where you'll be doing encounters. At least as far as I have seen, but the idea is still that you're gonna be having significantly less encounters in this game, in this version, without having the random encounters, so you get to pick and choose what you fight and what you're going for, which is why things like I noticed immediately the level adjustments and everything. I'll take a look at this.
So you've come to interrupt the great Tsuchigomo's feast, have you, devil summoner? Humans only exist to feed us demons.
They threw this in, right? I don't. We moved through it so fast on the left. I don't think it was there.
Why don't you come on over? She's gonna get.
Let me turn the audio up on the left so we just get it as like ambient background noise.
They don't know who they're messing with.
Yeah, that's good.
Raidou, show them the might of the Kuzunoha.
So rebalancing there. This is an action game. In the original, you had one demon out at a time to help you. In the remaster, you got two at once that you swap in and out of. You have these elemental abilities. You have ammo, and on the PS2 version, you had to keep track and refill You had to keep a stock of ammo. You had to keep an inventory of ammo. You don't have to manage element, because you would have elemental ammo. That's why you don't have to worry about that in the remaster. Because you've seen it so far. Whenever I bring up the gun, it's just like the circle of ammo, and then it just reloads as it is. That's prominent there. Let me hop back into let me hop into this fight in particular. I'll probably rewind as we're there. So, in the original, you only have one attack button with square, and then triangle is your gun. When an enemy is stunned with their weak point, you're mashing circle to capture them. And then you have your demons you're swapping in and out, but your demon companions, and you can give them commands, and they assist in that way. They have their elements and everything. I will think of more. In the remaster, you have a light attack and a heavy attack. Your light attack refills mag. Mag is what's used by your demons for what they cast. Because you notice on the left there, right? All the demons have their own MP. In the remaster, it is mag, and you're regenning it using light attacks. And then once you get those going, and they're using it, and they're hitting weaknesses like that, you're swapping to heavy attacks. And then you also, of course, have your range. So it's got a bit more of a fluid combat loop to it. There was something about loyalty. I think I missed that note. What was I seeing? I missed the note. Loyalty. Demons can be fused regardless of loyalty now. You're still encouraged to raise your loyalty, because when they're higher, they're more likely to leave items. Those items are used for crafting weapons, which also there's more weapon types in the remaster. Also, they took this guy's dick away. Yeah, it already built him a lot faster. 2 demons at once. You have new special skills and passives. When I go back into battle here, let me go back to it. In the bottom right, map to the face buttons. When you hold right trigger, it turns into different abilities. I have my own fire ability and ice ability I can use if I'm holding the button, if I'm holding right trigger down. So those things that make it more engaging, right? Much more involved. Oh yeah, you have dodge. There's dodge mechanics. There's perfect reward for perfect dodging. If you dodge towards an enemy, you'll properly do a 180 dodge around them, which is cool. Enemies do have attacks that attack both front and behind, so there can be a call on whether certain enemies you'll want to do that on. But yeah, you do have that going on, as you would expect in most modern games, right? With their reward for perfect dodges. Pretty like simple mechanic. A lot of them throw in, and it's pretty satisfying. So whatever. The perfect dodges also reward mag. There's also jumping. I don't really do it, but you can do jumping. You can jump. The elemental attacks, light and heavy. Let me something else here. So back in the city, real quick. You'll have your demons, and they'll be walking around you in the city, and you're going to be using abilities with them on enemies, or not enemies, NPCs. So we're going to ignite, right? In the remaster, if you can do something, like to someone, it'll tell you what it is, it'll give you the option, and it'll swap. In the PS2, you're going to have to just swap first. Rita is snoring behind me.
Even if he is just beating his gums, is that something?
Also, yeah, so the, talking about being a remake in other ways, this, where this, detective is like two blocks away, from being right outside the detective agency, because they put a little more tutorial stuff. It's fine to have you walk around now because there's no random encounters. So you could just, like, you know, no problem with you exploring that a little bit. Have you talking to NPCs and getting used to using your abilities on them. Which you would be doing because you'll notice I only have one demon on me in the left at this point. Back in the tutorial, they added a tutorial for when you get 2 demons. Is it this one? No, this one. Oh, look at this cutscene, actually. But you get your second demon right during the tutorial. So you're having 2 demons you're using abilities out in public with right away. How this zombie model's gonna look? It zooms out on him.
Alright, I'm in this for the long haul now. So, you better put me in where it counts, you hear?
On the PS2, you're to pull up that menu, you're doing right bumper, R1. I kinda like that. I kinda like that button for it. In I forget what you're doing on. Well, I mean, there's D-pad shortcuts and there's the trigger shortcuts. Yeah, on Remaster, you're pressing start. I don't know, I kind of like the R1 way. But, I mean, there's more to combat now in the first place, so whatever. Oh, you do have 3 kinds of attacks, actually, in the... with the PS2 game. You have a standard, like, square combo. If you hold square, you do a sword slash AoE. And if you hold a direction and then just press square once, you'll do a lunge with your sword. That's still going on in the remaster. Also here in the remaster, it's telling you how the crits work and how much the damage raised by crits goes. Yeah, I'm digging how engaged this combat is. I want to give my props to the original, though a lot of these combat changes do also just come from the second Raidou game, which was still on PS2, you know? So it's just like a lot of changes they thought of pretty immediately. That kick was pretty funny. That flash kick. Oh yeah, this the Raidou Kusunoha is a title. So you do not name them Raidou Kusunoha. You name them something else. His name in the manga was like Johei. A prominent H in there. So I have localized him myself, and his name is now Joey Ryan. That's my localization. Please enjoy.
Might you be able to pass the entire trial?
Pre-rendered backgrounds of the PS2 one look great, though.
Hey, you think we could talk for just a bit?
I do think, like, visually, and also because the original 60, I think it holds up.
Real potential.
I was reading in the interviews, like, the direction for... They wanted the environments to be like this detailed, so that's why they opted for pre-rendered. So that they could nail the art style that they were going for, of the, you know, being like a period piece game. Don't have to worry about that anymore. They can just do it, they can just model it, and let you play in it, so that's good. Let me know if you... Actually, no, you probably can't hear Rita over the game. She's snoring as loud as, like, she's upset I'm talking. Character Raidou to test if the game will let me, not allowed. Test if the game would tell you you're not allowed, like in Dragon Quest III. Yeah, because in Dragon Quest III, if you try to name your character Erdrick, Erdrick, it just won't let you. I'm pretty sure it still lets you name him Raidou. I didn't try it, but I'm pretty sure it does still let you do that.
It's like my spirit's on fire now.
I should move on to,
I knew you were special.
here we go.
You sure got a talent for handling demons.
Oops.
96,
What do they do with this creature?
98, 99.
I don't think either of them's getting me demonetized, but
Always missing one.
it's about it. Nah, never mind. It's just her hair. Nah, never mind. Actually, it's more because she has a rope on her now. That's funny. That's what I was thinking about was if it's enough for YouTube to care. I don't think it is. And the demon with the dick is not in my PS2 footage, so I don't have to worry about that either. This is the fight they change up in the remaster where you get your you see it's that fast in PS2, just because it's going through so quick. Oh yeah, she gets a shield, so there is also a shield mechanic added in. The shields are, as it explained, can be broken with utilizing their weaknesses. So it still goes with the theme of you really, really need to attack enemies with their weaknesses. I think it's a good idea to avoid you thinking that they're bullet sponges because they have health even though it dwindles faster, but that's getting into game design philosophy. Anyways, they have the shields, they really want you to use their weaknesses. So, right, throw them, throw it in the remaster.
I suppose playtime is over.
Rewind it left again. Because we're going through it so many times.
Kikumushi has broken the barrier. She's out of control. Get out of there. You'll be killed.
As fast as I'm going there, it was still taking me longer overall to do all of this in the original. Because I was trying to beeline it, so I was getting as few minimal random encounters as possible because I knew where to go. So I was just beelining it to where I needed to go. But as I was talking about, they adjusted the levels. So while I didn't really run into level problems just following the objectives and whatever in the remaster, in the original... Yep, there's Alp. That's where she joins in. In the remaster... Let's see.
I'll go ahead and join you.
Come
In the PS2 version, to get this enemy Agathion, since you need to be the same level or lower, level or higher, I had to grind like 2 levels. I had to grind a level and then get that fish dude, Izumi. As actually a woman. So I had to grind to get Izumi for a level, which is like not that long, but I still had to just walk in circles here. The time mechanic came in where I was trying to capture Agathion at one point, but there was a full moon, so I had to wait for that to go away. That goes away, but that went away after like 2 steps. That's just what the day mechanic is in the top left of the screen when you see them in the overworld. You'll see it there. So it didn't take long. It's not like terribly like padded. Certainly more convenient in the remaster. Not the worst thing I've ever dealt with though. But yeah, so I've come up to this point in the remaster, or in the original, and I gotta stop and walk around in circles until I get Azumi. And then walk around for another level until Azumi gets a level. And then I had to find Agatheon. I was kind of having trouble finding him at first, but then I got the encounters a few times. Oh yeah, in the PS2 version, I'm doing 2 hits of the combo most of the time because you can cancel out of it way faster into a block. So it's as I would say, if you do the 3 hits of the combo, you're left wide open after the 3rd hit. But if you only do 2 hits of it, you're pretty safe, and you can cancel your animations fast enough to just block. So it's made things a lot safer, and the damage hasn't been too different anyway. Not enough to certainly matter, and especially not compared to how much safer it is, because blocking is very valuable in this game. Blocking's still in both, but the dodging and everything is what's new. But yeah, so I had to run around, get this demon. Got him an extra level up anyway. And then now we can go to the boss here.
Hey, check it out. You really
This is a remake, you know. There was a debate over like Crisis Core. I could get that. There's still like original code running underneath that kind of thing. This is pretty damn far out, man. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because there's more marketable appeal to saying remaster. Maybe Final Fantasy VII Remake ruined it for everyone.
All right, Raidou. Are you ready?
I'm talking about the Devil's Bane. Is the tutorial for it on the right. The tutorial for what they're telling me on the right was in the original tutorial, like in the very beginning of the game. In that tutorial area. So it already teaches you this on PS2. But it wants you to attack, get that point. I missed it. There, doing that. And I've been doing that already repeatedly on the PS2 version. It's just there is no camera angle change. Yeah, I did it multiple times throughout that fight. On the left, you're waiting until their name glows green. In the bottom left, it's a much easier indicator. But I mean, it's a whole like screen slowdown on the right. This is one of those SNC games where, of course, actually I think, you know, most of them besides Persona, the demons have a lot of personality and it's great. Where's Dante? Wrong SNT. So far, this is like really promising action.
Wait, you're like crazy strong.
Blazing. You mean what's on the right? You already knew? The other one's funnier. Strong, badass spider. If it happens after the second time I do it. Oh yeah, one of the demons died. There's an auto revive thing. I didn't want to use that. Then I go down and actually figure out what I'm supposed to use. I revive him. Preda. I'm confused by the UI unnecessarily. And then I go back. I'm double checking which one died. It was Preda. So I'm go back. Go to Jindan. Use it on Preda. Use it on Preda. There you go. And he's going to immediately die once I swap him in because he should not be used in this fight. Also, he had no health. So that was a waste. Not important anyway. They want you to focus on using the Devil's Bane. Yeah, I brought Outback out just for healing. Remaster the other SMT games like this one. I'm pretty hopeful, honestly. Damn it, Austin. Why'd you miss?
Holy shit! What the hell kind of devil summoner are you?
It's strong bad.
The devil summoner are you?
One more.
Shit.
It's just strong bad.
Holy shit! What the hell kind of devil summoner are you?
Brilliant. Yeah, I have hope, because they kept doing, like, things like on 3DS, you remember. There were a few, like Soul Hackers and whatever. So they're totally still interested in doing it. I'd hold out, it's just a matter of time. Excuse me. Get the Persona 5 remaster, yeah. Well, Persona 5 needs a remake. They need to, though I'm waiting on the remake of, Raidou Remastered.
You're the devil summoner from the capital. Raidou Kuzunoha.
Yeah, they put in a lot more supplementary dialogue.
It was some devil
As much to help you.
Get rid of any cheat that comes through here. I don't know
Which is interesting to think of how it, like, this much was not, like, the dialogue. Also, you read through the dialogue faster on PS2 anyway. Oh, shit.
Good.
I pull up my bookmarks again. Where are my bookmarks? There it is.
Ready for this?
Let's see. Make sure I show all these cutscenes. Let me see.
The village hereby confers upon you the name Raidou Kuzunoha. You are the 14th to carry this name. Your birth name shall stay with the village.
So I got through so much of here already,
From
right?
now on, you shall be Raidou Kuzunoha the 14th.
I'll throw all the performance stuff
The
here.
capital is in your
50 bucks.
hands.
Yeah, it's 45 on a few sites.
However, you will not bear this burden alone.
How long is this game?
Koto Doji, come forth.
So, this boy is the next Raidou, you say? Well,
Why is someone's playthrough 9.5 hours?
right. You may
Anyway,
call me
PS2
Goto.
playtime's around 24 hours.
pleasure to
The
meet you.
remaster is faster because you have all the quality of life stuff, and also, you know exactly where to go with the objective markers. And all, like, the side quest organization. The way you play is much faster paced.
Successor to the Raidou.
More worth the price than Nocturne?
Take care to
Absolutely.
remember
Oh
this.
god, absolutely.
This may seem like a lonely, nameless shrine at first glance.
Unironically, SMT3 Remaster needs a remake.
Contact
Yeah, they should
Yagurasu.
just attempt that again.
By following a specific set of steps, we can meet the Herald.
This was a much more solid approach. It's really, like, interesting with this game because it was pretty out of nowhere, right? Of all games to, like, do this with, like, and this, like, much of, like, a visual value and presentation put into.
The
That's
supranational
crazy for Raidou
organization,
Kuzunoha,
Yagurasu.
of all
They
things.
command the devil summoners in this country.
Really cool.
They also clean up any messes the demons leave behind. The Kuzunoha clan is under the command of Yagurasu.
So all the performance stuff I'll put here again. Again, the Switch 1 version of the game is reportedly, according to them, 1080 docked and 720 undocked. both go between 30 to 60 FPS. It is uncapped and it goes up to 60. On Switch 2, the Switch 1 version is constantly 60. It is still 720 undocked. The Switch 2 version itself is 1080 60, both docked and undocked. And yeah, it was in Cullen's review. No, it was on an article. It was still on RPGSite. I'm gonna double check this here.
The head of the office,
Because they were both. Let me see here.
A devil summoner and a detective. Interesting.
Let me make sure I'm citing correctly here.
One final thing. To commemorate your succession as the 14th, please take this.
Cullen and Mikhail have done articles on this.
It should prove itself useful in the coming battles.
Granted, some of it was for something earlier. I did try this game on a Steam Deck, and if you're playing at the Steam Deck native resolution, it was perfectly fine for me. Seemed fine for me. There's a room release on Persona 6, another 2 years minimum, because we got Persona 4 remake next year.
Anything else important we've learned up until now?
I think that's for not because of like a team is split working on it, but because they're spacing out their releases. So like 2 years minimum. So I wouldn't worry about Persona 6 anytime soon.
That should do it.
Now then. So anyway, it was noted among that the Switch 2 version does have it was noticed higher quality textures and shadows. But otherwise, yeah, it's just a higher resolution, and it's a higher resolution undocked. So if you were gonna play the game undocked on Switch 2, you would really want to go for the Switch 2 version. There is no upgrade path like there is on PS4 to PS5, to my understanding, and the Switch 2 version physical is a game key card. If you wanted the game physical, you would want the Switch 1 version. Pick your poison there. Now, PS4 version is 1080, 30 to 60 FPS as well. PS5 version is 4K 60. Xbox Series X is 4K 60. Xbox Series S is 1440 60. So on everywhere you're getting 60 consistent besides Switch 1 on Switch 1 and PS4. But yeah, I was testing it out when I did 1080p on Steam Deck. That I was dropping frames on, not terribly until I was doing like the elemental skills that Raidou has. Those dropped the frame rate.
Since the Meiji Restoration, the capital, once known as Edo, well, let's just say it's growing fast.
Let's catch up here.
These days, it's all about being.
Cutscenes get so thrown out because of the dialogue reading.
Over 60 years since the Meiji Restoration. The capital, once known as Edo.
Sound familiar?
Well, let's just say it's growing fast. These days, it's all about being modern. Cash and science are king. No one has room in their hearts for spirits, gods, and the supernatural. But, make no mistake.
Shut up about Yuri Lowenthal. This isn't about him.
They lurk in the shadows, watching and laughing at us. But here, in the Taisho era, we're the only detectives that specialize in that sort of thing.
You're listening to Sakura Dayama Radio. Early yesterday morning, another unexplained disappearance reportedly occurred. This is the latest in an ongoing series of bizarre events. Eyewitnesses have reported seeing a strange red-shaped monster at the scene of the incident.
Yeah, even then I saw doubts that Switch 1 version was even 1080. They didn't say, though, if it was dynamic. They explicitly,
yes, this is the Narumi Detective
in an
Agency.
interview, said it was 1080.
Hello. You're detectives, right?
Yep, I just
Maybe
told
there's
you
some really poor anti-aliasing. I'd have to take a look at it later when I do the full port review.
But we only take special cases, if you catch my drift.
I have this problem.
Which I will say, I may be doing the port review of this one sooner rather than later.
Could you meet me
I still think like Tales of Graces is like right around the corner, but this one might end up sooner rather than later.
No, I mean it. I'm telling you straight. Please, sir. Please, help.
Hey, hello? She hung up. So she needs us, huh? Nothing better to do. Guess we're on the case, Raidou.
Oh, there were a bunch of PS2 and PS3 and 360 games that actually were scaled down from 720. There were games like Dragon Quest XI that couldn't even hit 1080 on PS4. The original hardware was released on. Unreal games were not releasing on 1080 on PS4. Granted, yeah. You have options for it to look better. You have a plethora of options here, depending on what you want. The art style really, I think, aged well on PS2. Here, let me sync these up here. I got all these bookmarks. That's not right. Oh, yes, it is.
Watch out!
What's really crazy is this is like, I guess it was just something with the pre-rendered stuff. Because, like, what the hell happened to the Persona 3 assets?
What?
They got to properly redo all these, and these are the same animations.
Wait.
Improved models. Touched up models, I would say. But it's all re-rendered and the same animations. It's so interesting and kind of really cool to see. Especially for Kaneko's art style.
Obstacles shall be eliminated.
You're supposed to lose this fight. It's much easier to lose it right away on the left on PS2. This is taking so long because I keep dodging. I refuse to actually let them hit me. Am I healing? Yeah, I also healed and wasted potions. And that's when it cut me off.
The devil summoner retreating. Do not pursue the girl.
Actually, honestly, for a while, I didn't think they were gonna do like anything Raidou. I didn't think we were gonna see Raidou again at all. Now that they're releasing games in other Asian territories, where the aesthetic of this game, the imperialism and everything, the outfits, like in Persona 5, all the Raidou costumes get removed for those regions. But no, they still did it. This game's not gonna. I'm very positive this game's not gonna release in those territories, or did not release because the game is out now. Yeah, Digital Devil Saga.
We haven't heard so much as a peep
It'll be
about
up
that incident
next.
from yesterday. I have heard a lot of weird rumors about that bridge, like folks disappearing, then showing back up out of nowhere. Maybe that bird from yesterday really is involved in the sort of stuff we
I hope
dealt
so.
with.
They'll keep me
And the way
busy.
she asked us to kill her? Didn't like that one bit.
Though I was
Mention those
extremely
red
burned out
soldier
on
eyes.
Persona
Hey, Raidou,
and
can
SMT
you look into
last
that
year.
business from yesterday?
Good God.
The client up and vanished right under our noses.
It was
We
all
can't
those
just sit
Persona
around
games
twiddling our
back to
thumbs,
back,
can we?
and then into
You noticed it too,
Metaphor.
didn't you, Raidou? Those
Oh
red
my God.
special guards were demons.
And Episode Aegis.
The Kuzunoha can't stand idly by with those things prowling the capital.
Phew.
Great, then if that's settled, I'll leave the investigating to you, Raidou. I'd go, but it's easier for you anyway. What with those
I then,
demons of
after
yours?
everything was all said and done, I went back and archived all of my saves for the
Goto says,
playthrough of
so
Persona
smart.
4
Not that
I
speak bad or
redid
anything.
on PS2.
Ignore him, Raidou. Let's just get to work.
I was noticing tutorial text would like flash off and on. It seemed tied to, I mean, if you swap to like keyboard inputs, it like reloads all the text currently on screen. So I don't know if it was like that. SMT4, yeah. With the quality of this, yeah, I think we could see any of the 3DS ones, like SMT4 for sure, and Apocalypse.
Stop by Konoya down the street before looking for that girl. Who knows? Could find something useful.
But yeah, the game is $45 on a few websites. Which, by the way, I had a friend. What is it? I wasn't given a code for the remaster. I should have started with that. I wasn't given a code for the remaster. I had my friend Loaf gifted me the game.
Godspeed.
But yeah, the game's less than $45 on a few places. Class of Heroes? I don't know. With the backlog I've got right now, I don't know if it'll be on the docket. Yeah, Persona made them so much money. Like a lot of money. Yeah. In the vein of Etrian Odyssey, but on PSP. Maybe I've seen it before. Let me see here. I got time. We got through the bulk of everything I was going to talk about. Oh, yeah. I did see about it, yeah. On Gematsu, probably. More than likely, I saw something about it. As it had, like, remaster. PSP makes sense now. I was like unsure of where I was seeing like where would this have been a remaster from, but PSP makes sense, yeah. When 2 was out last year, yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Atlas published? Who published the remaster? P-Cube. Choir Corp. Here we go, 3 remaster, P-Cube. I don't know anyone at P-Cube. I have zero idea who I'd get in touch with at P-Cube. Let me see here. Spelled that wrong. Oh, it's really cool. In the remaster, I don't know if I had enough time to walk. I keep walking around, like, in the, like, this one area. Let me skip around to where I'm actually walking around. It keeps the fixed camera angles. Like, it's panning right here. But once I start going to alleyways and certain angles, it's completely fixed camera like this. It just properly swaps. This shit is so cool. I love that effect. Was it the orthographic camera? Because everything is 3D modeled and it's maintaining perspective no matter the angle change. Let's see here. The game mutes audio when I click out of it, so I must have been checking something on the window or Discord. There we go. I guess I was doing it again. There. I was walking around pretty aimlessly. You cannot really follow a guide written for the original for the remaster. Keep that in mind if you look anything up for... what is it? If you look anything up for the game, news articles from websites are more than likely written about the original, probably not going to apply to the remaster, especially with the rebalance of gameplay. There's a lot of things that might get copy-pasted from being written about the original, you know? I think I mentioned it before. Well, actually, I don't think I mentioned it on stream, but remember in Dragon Quest 3, I mentioned there was a new personality, and Square made zero acknowledgement that there was a new personality in the game. For Paper Tiger, that was the new personality. So there's actually 46 in HD 2D. They made zero acknowledgement of that. So if you search Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D personalities and look at all the websites that do not have Paper Tiger on there, see exactly who is copy-pasting info. I can tell you who did have it. Who had it was RPGSite, IGN, and Game 8 or whatever, but they still had other wrong info, misinfo on Game 8. So IGN and RPGSite had that nailed. Most other sites I saw were totally missing Paper Tiger. I do have a thing here I could apply for it. For Class of Heroes 3. Comes out in September.
Leaving already?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Soon. Bring more money.
It's a PSP, right? Give me another reason to pull out the PS TV. Actually, it's still in my setup, but... Yeah. Well, I mean, when it's their job, like, for like, outlets the game journalist outlets where it is their job, I would be a lot harsher on. Yeah. That I would be much more critical of. Okay, there's an English patch as well for PSP version. Okay. Okay, so that, I mean, so that's why nobody's in contact with me, because the game's not out till September. But now that I'm like pulling it up, I could apply for it anyway. And then be reminded of it in a couple months. I'm trying to double check that on the release date. Music's so good, dude. Yeah, September.
Well, it's like...
Let me, let's see. By the way, as another reminder, I'm gonna be doing a sponsored stream in like July. It's gonna be pretty blatantly obvious that it is something sponsored, even though I'm also going to literally say it as well. And it will be in the title and everything. It will have another game on that stream as well that will not be sponsored. So it's something unsponsored, surrounding a sponsored stream. And with me bringing up me doing a sponsored stream, let me also bring up Rita's doing well, and she's going to be she's going into evaluation tomorrow. I'm thinking we'll try more laser therapy. Maybe some re-engage her in some physical therapy to
Like he can
get her rebuilding muscle mass.
He's just messing with us. Don't make eye contact.
So I'll just like put out the reminder of expenses with doing these.
What's really on your mind?
Yep, you have to disclose, legally have to disclose sponsorships. If you are paid, you have to legally disclose it.
something doesn't... forget it.
If you are dead set on like a creator must have been paid, but nothing says that they have been paid or sponsored, that's illegal. And I say that because most of the time they are not actually paid. If they're paid, you will know.
Hey, is he?
I'm missing the websites I have bookmarked. Here we go. Excuse me. If you think that, report him to the FTC. You can report him to the FTC. What was I looking for? Let's see. Okay, yeah, I will, let me go back here. Put in a request, and then remember it in a couple months. Cool, okay. Put that in, so if anything happens with Class of Heroes, yeah, we'll stream it. Offered $500,000. Ooh, Jesus. Yeah, because there's a very, now that I've like more experienced it, there's a very huge difference between the publisher just sending you a code for the game and having to sign a contract for being paid for it. There's a massive difference. And I think that's more what, like, there's an option on YouTube where you mention it's a paid promotion. Like, it describes it as if it's both, but that's such a huge difference between the two.
I must ask you to leave.
Like, when you're just given a code, there's more than likely not any actual, like, guidelines.
I must apologize.
There's usually, it's like, usually what I get is a request of, like, spoilers. That's just, like, really vague.
I understand you meant was she safe? I beg your pardon.
But that's about it. And of course, disclosing that it was a gift.
Can you tell me what happened?
And embargoes, yeah. When it's paid, you are given more you have to explicitly say.
So, that's what happened to Kaya. I see. Well, she disappeared about 10 days ago. Since then,
Though when I did
Kaya's father
when I did the metaphor video, that was
an old prestigious family.
That one was, even though that was paid, that was explicitly say what you think.
But if something
they didn't actually give me guidelines on what I had to say. There was no script given to me. It was genuinely you have to speak honestly about it.
I'd like to ask you to track Kaya down. My brother isn't doing well, and I was recently informed there's nothing his doctors can do. At the very least, I want him to see his daughter's face one last time. Let me know as
Did I move the
find
game?
out where she is. I'm very worried about her. We can only pray she's still all right.
I thought it had it
If you have
centered.
Any questions, Nakamura will be glad to answer them. Now,
on the
if
left?
you'll excuse me,
Wait, what happened?
The head of the house, Master Takeshi Daidoji, has already asked the police to search for Miss
Oh,
Kaya.
you're kidding me.
I don't mean to supersede Master Kyoshi's words.
When did I do
there's
that?
No need to trouble you. Besides, Master would
Oh,
prefer
damn it,
this
dude.
matter not be made public. I trust that you understand.
Oh, man.
Until next time, then.
We're gonna run through some things again. Here. This is how it was supposed to fucking look. Oh my god, I didn't pay attention to that till now.
Particularly welcome here, but Kiyoshi did ask for our help. I'm sure he won't mind if we look around.
Fuck's sake, man. Let's relook at some things. Damn it, man. How irritating. I can't believe I didn't notice that. It is pretty... I started the stream at 11 p.m. Rarely late in the day. I scrambled to put all this together. Because I wasn't gifted the thing until 2 p.m. So I've just been scrambling all day, doing all my research. Immediately digging up all these interviews. Audio to 5.1? I'm not sure. I mean, what does the Steam page say, actually? It should just straight be on the Steam page. Oops. I hate all the autoplay stuff. Steam pages usually say that, don't they? Oh, maybe they don't. Man, I can't believe I didn't, like, notice that. Until I'm sitting here an hour in, like, pretty much done. Fuck's sake, man. Whatever. I'll just run through all these again. That main menu is so sick. No difficulty. Oh, that was another thing. There's no difficulty options in the original. You just go in. There's like 4 difficulty options. Oh, you unlock hard mode on PS2. You unlock a hard mode in New Game Plus. Which again, it's not a Persona length game. It's like 25 hours. But yeah, you would unlock New Game Plus. So that's why it doesn't ask. In the remaster, you are just as straightforward. Oh, I'm glad that lined up. Yeah, because you can see I already made the left one just smaller. Just to try to get them even height.
As the sun shines, so too does it cast shadow. Such is the law of the heavens and of the earth. Likewise, where lies
man, I'm gonna put a chapter thing in the description after the stream. I'm so annoyed I did that.
First, you must state your name.
What did I say? Joey Ryan. That's my localization. That's I have now localized the name. I am very slow to type it on PS1.
Well. Then so you should.
Oh, because I was checking the what is it? RetroTink settings. I believe I may have damaged my RetroTink, and it's really upsetting. I think I may have just there just may be a loose solder. Hopefully, fingers crossed, all it is just a loose solder. They just take 2 seconds to fix. But I don't know, I'd have to actually open it up and look. I believe it would have come from yanking component cables too hard, which is not something I tried to do in the first place. But certainly they were really tight on there, so I did have to, use force. You don't... Now it's generally, because they've been used, they're loose. You shouldn't open it up. I really shouldn't. I'm gonna make sure everything's there. PS1. Oh, with the PS1. Well, that's a very different story. The PS1, that and everything going on in there was a lot tinier and smaller and more intricate. The RetroTink is not as complex of just like a motherboard. But I do need to make sure and examine and know that's what the problem is. That's all I can imagine is that it's just like some loose solder. Or like a loose connector.
Next, you shall demonstrate your
Yeah, that's solder. Yeah. So I just imagine that somehow came loose.
Injurious to demons. Remain calm, or they will inevitably
Here's
fail
hoping.
to reach their target. Compose yourself and allow your bullets
Yeah, what happened with the
to pierce your
PS1 was there's a ribbon cable that connects the CD reader to the motherboard, and it's held in by a really fragile plastic clip that requires you to awkwardly lift it. Oh yeah, you just shoot like with triangle on PS2 in the remaster. Yeah, it's a holding L2 and then aiming with L2 and then R2 to shoot, and it like loads up the shots and then you go. A lot more engaging. How's the remaster compared to the original? I'm definitely eager to play the remaster, and crossing my fingers my time in the original will be okay. Breakout cables, yeah, that would have been a better idea. Yep. If I have to do anything, like if I have to get another retro tink, because I don't know if Mike actually has warranties on them. I will just, yeah, I'll get breakout cables, yeah. I should have done that in the first place. I should have done that when I thought there was an issue right away.
Certainly see how you became a candidate for the
Because the only two consoles I'm swapping are the Wii and PS2, but I'm actively doing that now because of Raidou, and I need the Wii plugged in for Tales of Graces.
weapons and demonstrate your instincts for battle.
I mean, it was already like 1 year warranty. 1 year warranty. When did I buy it? It's very nice of Mike. Oh, Jesus Christ. I brought it years ago. Oh my god, time flies. Oh, I had this thing for a long time. Oh, that's not fair, dude. I feel like I just got the retro tink yesterday. It's been 2 years. Well, there's no way. Maybe that was for the 2X. I have a retro tink 2X. No, that was 2 years ago. Fuck. Earn buy now. I can't afford it. I had to be gifted Raidou. I can't afford it. Not for which is being paid back soon. And I've been doing way more work this month and stepping things up, trying to have this Tales of Graces video out. So not much I can do about that. And can't manage, really, man. I'll just have to work around tariffs if that's the case. If it comes to that.
Certainly paid off. It has come time for you to handle a demon.
Heavy bills incoming though. That's why.
A demon shall be unleashed here. Though little danger there may be.
Heavy bills incoming, so there's not much to go around, even if it's part of the what I do for work. It works.
The art of confinement.
So.
Now then,
pet and house,
make
yeah.
the demon your ally.
Pretty frustrating property tax. Tales of Graces video, yes. I'll be doing that I'll be doing that pretty soon. I've already recorded most of what I need on PS3 and Wii. Let me ask you though, Valmar, Can you get your save file? I am begging on my knees. Can you get a save file from just the end of the game? And did you rotate your saves? I would be in your debt if you have your save files. And a way to rip them, because on Tales of Graces is a game that had DLC, and on DLC games on the Wii, you can't copy their saves to an SD card. So is it also a homebrew Wii? Or is it on Dolphin? Straight up, let me know.
Good.
That would be a large help, because I've had to, with a lot of gameplay I'm going to be showing with the Wii version, is a lot of bugs. The Wii version was very bugged on initial release.
Successfully tamed a demon.
I have Japanese videos from like 13 years ago or whatever that show like those bugs off. So I have that documented. There's a really funny one with Asbel where combat one where he's repeating attacks he shouldn't be very fast, and he can use them to stun lock bosses with specials with Mystic Arts. Shit's really funny.
So you maintain your composure even now.
I played enough of the game on Wii to get that. If I wanted endgame though, I would be extremely grateful.
Arts of the Kuzunoha. Show us how you command demons.
Easy control, check if I still have it. Alright, cool. Tactics Remastered. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Hopeful for that one. Actually, that reminds me. Hold on. I'm gonna grab something downstairs. Actually, let me sync this up again. Where were we at? Get this cutscene going. I'll be back in a sec. Hold on. Speaking of that. I was sent a postcard for Bravely Default.
All right, I'm in this for the long haul now.
So I wanted to actually look at that. It's key art on one side, but it is oh shit, that's like actually drawn on with a silver Sharpie and multiple colors. Oh, that's so cool, dude. Wow. Yeah, let me get a photo of this and throw it on stream. There, hopefully I was still enough. Let's see here. We can throw this onto.
Good.
Double check this here. Yeah, everything else is here. So it was This has been specifically for the HD remaster. They sent postcards. And let's see. The postcards are autographed. It's key art on one side, but then we get a little more on okay, we're through there.
Hi there, I'm out.
I'm gonna leave it like there. So it's got autographs, multiple,
I saw you.
and they're it's individually drawn. That's
Gosh, you got some
what is it? Actual silver Sharpie and everything. That's really cool.
like those other candidates.
We will meet again. These are the words we snuck onto the image of Dee's journal that appears when selecting the software icon of the Nintendo 3DS version. Although you can only find it in the Japanese release, my promise was meant for everyone everywhere. To think that this is how we'd be reunited for some 10 plus years later. Bravely Default has something fresh and unrefined that you won't find in the likes of Octopath Traveler or Triangle Strategy. It thrills me to know that you're able to enjoy it. Asano had the courage to disobey Creative Studio 5, Square Enix. That's cool. That's so cool. I didn't think it was like that with the autographs. That's very nice. That's so sick. Yeah, they did, yeah, it's like, what the hell happened there? Why, like, Raidou got so much love.
I knew you were special.
And yeah, it would be so nice if they would, go back.
Handling demons.
Here,
Yeah, your mag feels so nice. Well, I'm gonna go now. Thanks, human.
let me see, here we go.
97, 98, 99.
So they did it from the actual Wii, which is 70% in. Oh, that would still be perfect. 10 away from the ending. Oh, that would still be perfect.
I cannot be free until I slay 100 devil summoners. But you'll be my 100th, won't you?
It's like so damn fast. Yeah, that game looks so good on PS2 though. It's nice. And if you need to, just what is it? My email is on, if you go to my YouTube channel on the about page, is you can click a thing for my email. You just email it to me. Either or, whenever you get a chance to it, if you don't tonight. If you do, that's great, because we're gonna go through here at least enough to recover these scenes, just for the sake of having the footage on the left look correct. Yeah. Yeah, they had sent me I got a poster for Star Ocean I've talked about before. That thing is so nice. Proper CRT on the original, yeah. Seeing that like with the retro tink, that shit's great.
Well then, I suppose playtime
It's so interesting because I'm gonna actually look up this release timing. Do it tomorrow this hour. Okay.
Kikumushi has broken the barrier. She's out of control.
It's a Austin SV0 at Gmail.
This is beyond any mere trial now.
But it's written out on the about page. Like you gotta click a button first because it has to verify you're human.
And we'll die. And then at last I'll be free. How my spirit stirs at the thought. You're not the only demon with a soaring spirit right now.
I don't think we went here.
Seems the name of Raidou has been
Oh yeah, we did.
succeeded. I see. So you are the 14th. I am the bringer of tidings from Yatagarasu. I am the overseer.
So this
of the
game released,
Kusunoha clan, its mission to protect this land from spiritual
March
threats.
2006, October 2006 in the U.S.
Yatagarasu. They command the devil summoners in this country. They also clean up any messes the demons leave behind. The Kusunoha clan is under the command of Yatagarasu.
Every generation of Raidou Kusunoha has been tasked with
Yeah, here we
safeguarding the
go.
capital. The capital is the vibrant center of this country. People, institutions.
This timeline doesn't have Persona
so
on it, never
much is
mind.
concentrated there, which makes it an ideal hunting ground for demons. Raidou, if demons ever appear in the capital, you must slay them before the people face any harm. That is your duty, and the people must never know of you. You exist in the darkness in order to vanquish that very darkness. Never forget that.
So then, what is needed of us now?
This game was 5 months before
There, he will become a detective apprentice.
Persona
Make your
3
way
came
to
out in
Narumi
Japan.
Detective Agency. The head of the office, Narumi, works with us.
Oh, a devil summoner and a detective. Interesting.
4 months.
We have also settled the formalities with the
But then a
Stormlord.
couple months,
One
yeah, no,
final
still
to
before
commemorate
Persona
your
3.
succession as the 14th.
And I'm questioning
take
that because
this.
there's a lot of, like, the menus and everything. It's the same, like,
This mirror will allow you to see
everything they were
demons'
using
works.
with Persona, but man, it's
Should
just,
prove itself useful in the coming
higher
battles.
quality.
All right, now something for me. Since I'll be partnering with a detective, I believe it'll be worth keeping this detective journal. I'll be taking note of any words or phrases that are relevant to our work.
It's just nice how,
That way
like,
we can
sharp it
refer to
looks
them at any
compared to,
time.
Persona 3 and 4.
Starters, I'll add entries about your training at the village, plus anything else important we've learned up until now.
Rotate might save much, like 2 or 3. I'll take whatever. All of it works. I can credit as a Valmar. Let me write that down. Let me throw it in the script right now. At the top.
Now then, let's be off to the so-called Narumi Detective Agency.
I was gonna say, like, who the hell plays the Wii version, you know?
Ensure the
So
capital's
that
safety.
it was, I couldn't find anything online. What I did find, oh hi Max, redoing the VO. Max, the original didn't have voice acting, so they did the VO. Yeah. Let me sync it back up here. I've actually talked and went over everything, but I fucked up the footage on the left side. I had it too cropped, or rather uncropped. So it was way smaller, so I'm just syncing everything back up here.
Been over 60 years since the Meiji Restoration. The capital, once known as Edo, well, let's just say it's growing fast.
Yeah, the battle pacing is way different, and then the dialogue being read out loud changes timing too. So I have a, in VLC player, I have multiple bookmarks. I have like 20, 30 something bookmarks of timestamps in these recordings to go through, so that I can keep everything in sync properly.
To this day, they lurk in the shadows, watching and laughing at us.
Oh, my cursor's
But
still on.
here, in the Taisho era, we're the only detectives that specialize in that sort of thing.
You're listening to Sakura Dayama Radio. Early yesterday morning, another unexplained disappearance reportedly occurred. This is the latest in an ongoing series of bizarre events.
You can play the DS minigame. Yeah, I got a hold of that one, actually. Physically, too? That's funny. Yeah, I managed to, I have the DS one. I can record it on my 3DS.
This is the Narumi Detective Agency.
Hello? Hello? You're detectives, right?
Yep, I just told you that.
The kind of detectives that take any case, right?
Cute. But we only take, special cases, if you catch my drift.
I have this problem. I don't really know what to do, and I want to talk to you about it.
Uh-huh.
Please, could you meet me at Ushigome Gaidi Bridge right away?
Listen, kid, I'm sure you're a nice bird, but I'm not in the mood
Yeah,
for
prior to
prank
this,
calls. Where are your parents?
No,
like, and what I've been doing here, I remember Max's streams vaguely of when he streamed Raidou, and a lot of things started to make sense as I played the PS2 one.
Nothing better to do. Guess we're on the case, Raidou.
You know, the remaster is so like full of quality of life. It's a significantly like, even with all this extra added dialogue, a lot of things I think in the long term are gonna go much faster. Yeah, even for then it was tradition to a certain extent, because Dragon Quest still wasn't doing it until way later. When Dragon Quest XI released, there was no Japanese voice acting. They didn't get it until S.
Detective agency?
That's right.
Straight up just tradition.
The bird who gave us a call?
Yes. Well,
listen, sweetheart. Any other time
I'm not critical of Pokemon. But you know, Pokemon doesn't have to be that traditionalist.
sir, please. This.
Here, this is what I'm talking about. It goes so fast.
I want you to kill me.
Kill you? Hey, now, miss, you shouldn't joke about things like that.
Actually, since we're here now, we might as well just get that. There.
Watch out!
Yeah, Dragon Quest VIII Japanese didn't have voice acting till 3DS. And it released on PS2 in the West with voice acting, right? It's something way more expect. Not only that, it's a really annoying thing I've seen where people expect the entire game to be voiced, and I'm talking all flavor text, all side quest dialogue needs to be voiced, or they don't think it's worth a full price game. That's... with this genre, I think that's not necessary. If you look at Fire Emblem does do it, and man, that shit's crazy. How much longer you end up skipping it. Like, it's great that they read it and everything is voiced. They give, especially in Fire Emblem, not only do they do good performances, but they have pretty solid voice direction. But man, that's a lot of fucking dialogue. We're lucky Nintendo knows how to compress sound pretty well. Entire OST for Smash Ultimate, all 1,000 plus songs, is like 1 gigabyte. A little more than 1 gigabyte. There's something about like the old like file menuing system where like it's reminiscent and born from the birth of like the home computer and menus there. There's just something really charming about it. I could take either or though. But yeah, we have, and back through here, the, remaster is still all fixed camera. It's all, like, 3D modeled and everything, but it is still fixed camera angles and everywhere. RE style. It's really nice looking. I appreciate retaining that and using the, I believe the word for it is orthographic. The perspective kind of is changing. There it's not. Like, the perspective doesn't change anywhere. I'm pretty sure the term for it's orthographic. In a 3D space. In a 3D perspective view space. I believe that's the word for it. And I'm pulling that because that's what it does in Blender. The higher quality audio. For Nintendo, they don't need that. That audio still sounds great. Like Smash, I don't think the music in Smash is, you can't really hear that compression. That's the other thing. It's so proprietary though. The compression they use is proprietary. Like when you convert it to regular MP3, the file size of that whole soundtrack goes up significantly. Yeah, let's see. Back to the Ignite. Oh, right, line them up. Because they moved the dude on the right. They moved the detective. Make you go through screens. Yeah, MP3 is old as hell.
What am I even doing here? Why the hell do I gotta be the one to stake out Narumi? You don't gotta send someone out just because we got a tip. So what if a witness spotted him at Ushigome Gaeri Bridge with that missing girl? What a waste of time!
We need to do that with,
toss him in the slammer. Done!
I mean, anywhere where it's useful, like some games, have like a separate like story mode from the file size. For Tekken 7 and Tekken 8, they're fucking massive games, but you can delete like 10, 20, 30 something gigabytes from those games by deleting all the pre-rendered videos for the story modes in the galleries.
Swallowtail butterfly. Looks like the Daidoji family crest. I couldn't be.
Should just be an option though.
Just jump into conclusions because of that missing Daidoji girl.
Oh, the Daidoji family, eh? Raidou, what say we try investigating the Daidoji family? Perhaps we'll learn something useful.
I don't think I went through the mansion too well here.
Pardon me, sir. No one is permitted to enter without an appointment. Terribly sorry, but I must ask you to leave. Will there be anything else?
Yeah, that's Ray Chase.
I must apologize for my rudeness. Please, sir, follow me.
Incredible actor. So very good casting.
Was she safe? I beg your pardon. I'm Kiyoshi Daidoji, her uncle. Can you tell me what happened? So, that's what happened to Kaya. I see. Well, she disappeared about 10 days ago. Since then, my brother Takeshi, Kaya's father, has grown more ill with each passing day. We're an old, prestigious family, as I'm sure you already know. Kaya would have taken his place if it came to that. But if something happens to her, what would become of the Daidoji family name? That's my biggest concern, honestly. However, you say you really met Kaya and caught a glimpse of her abductors? Raidou, was it?
It changes the
I'd like
script.
To ask you to
it
track
would be,
Kaya. My brother isn't doing well.
I'm probably gonna have to look through it, but yeah, there's also script changes in Japanese.
Doctors can do. At the very least.
This is just straight up added extra dialogue for clarity. What did I write down?
You find out where she is.
Clarify and expanded on plot points.
We can only pray she's still alright.
In flavor text.
It's time, sir.
If you have any questions, Nakamura will be glad to answer them. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm expecting company.
The head of the house, Master Takeshi Daidoji, has already asked the police
let me skip to what they're doing here on the left, on the right.
Master Kyoshi's word.
Taking control. What is it? Doing the solo investigations of the demons. Aliasing problems of metaphor. It's not the same engine. It's Unity, so no. DLSS? No.
It's a school photo. In that case, we might glean more useful information from her fellow students.
I show it from the beginning. Let me get through this scene and then I'll go back to it because I do show the PC options at the beginning of this footage. Okay. So I do go through the options here. Audio, all these sliders. Autosave, retain cursor. Pause while changing actions, I left off. Because that's the default. The confinement controls, yeah, I'm gonna change that to hold. I would rather not mash. I think that's a pretty nice change some games make. This is a game where I'm gonna want to not constantly be mashing like that. It has a prioritized graphics. Actually, I didn't change that setting, so I don't know if it goes to a custom one. It's just anti-aliasing on or off, shadows on and off. The render scale doesn't go higher than 100. And then there's the prioritize. I don't think it goes higher. Visually, it gets the job done. It's, the anti-aliasing is actually applying. Remember, that's the thing with Metaphor, is the anti-aliasing just literally was not working, functioning. It wasn't present in the first place. Oh yeah, there's the difficulty options. It might be just FXAA. But certainly, it is actually there. Lightweight. It wouldn't be for performance. It would just be, what is it? Isn't that kind of annoying? Yeah, it would low performance, but they wouldn't be able to use, like, other ones, like MSAA or whatever. I guess that's why. Because, so then, yeah, it probably is just FXAA. That's a good guess.
As the sun
yeah, you would
shines,
like
so
if it was there, it would just need like DLAA. It's super sample, yeah.
Of the heavens and of the earth. Likewise,
it hasn't been enough shimmering to really bother me. Okay, let me go to the dark realm here. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if they go back and do this again for SMT3?
We're in the dark realm now. Stay on guard. Is that Rin?
Running games really would be nice. Oh yeah, it was totally there in the original, it's just way shorter.
So you've come to interrupt the great Tsuchigomo's feast.
Remake at some point? They should. I don't know how high in the priority it is, but...
exist to feed us demons. The world won't care if a few of you disappear. Why don't you come on over? She's gonna get eaten if you don't hurry.
They don't know who they're messing with. Raidou, show them the might of the Kuzunoha.
Yeah, many older games. Many that are appreciated now. Yes, early 1900s. Yep, that's when it takes place.
There's more.
I'm excited to get back into this, but I do need to. Tales of Graces is so far along. Oh, actually, you know what I need to do next? I need to get to finish not Undertale, Deltarune. I need to finish Chapter 4. Hopefully I can do that tomorrow. My plan was to do that today, but here I am with all this Raidou stuff. I had to do all this today instead. It was important though. Anyway, yeah, getting him in the rights on the remaster just that quick. And he's level 6. On PS2, he's level 8. Yeah, he's level 8 on PS2. So I had to grind to get to level 8. But the only reason I had to do any grinding on PS2 at this point right here was because I made a beeline right here. The game has random encounters. If I was naturally exploring everywhere, as you would like on a blind playthrough or whatever, I wouldn't have been underleveled, and I wouldn't have had to just sit here and grind. Trails Sky first chapter for the first time next. Wish me luck. Alright. I will, when it is close to release, yeah, we'll be doing that too. Wait for the remake. Yeah, the remake's in a few months. How long is it actually? A choice like that is something I would do with 40 hours. Ooh, man. Maybe 40 to 60 hours. I already have it on Steam. Yeah. Certainly, if you got the time. That's something I emphasize with the videos. Like, this might even, like, Raidou is like a 25-hour game. The remaster gonna be even shorter than that. At least it should be, to my understanding, right? You can play both versions. You just have to, there's a lot to get used to, though, with the PS2 version, certainly, that we've been covering the whole stream.
A dragon's rise.
Dumbass. I had your number right from the start. See, I'm the kind of demon who will eat till he's good and ready.
And think about bosses talking.
Hey, check it out. You
Almost back through all this.
show up. He said you would, but I still wasn't sure.
He?
I can't believe you fell for it.
Oh yeah, they'll add a little more context in the remastered there too. That's the kind of example we're talking about. Not even context, because you're not really supposed to know. But now you're told what you're not supposed to know. You're told that you are not supposed to know. Something like that. You're given more info. More coherent.
Are you ready?
You play your backlog. This channel makes me get me into play my backlog. Way it looks on PS2. The art style aged well. Yeah, I think the art style aged really well. And also 60 FPS. Yeah. They are not bad pre-rendered backgrounds at all. I'm glad, like, much of the aesthetic of, like, the menus and everything are pretty much retained. It's 1 AM. Yeah, we'll wrap this up soon. This should be our last bit though, actually. But yeah, again, the gameplay, they've got the shields on them. Breaking the shields using weakness anyway. But it is a way to queue in, like, weaknesses are important, but they're not bullet sponges. Because they have the same health, they just have these shields up.
You're like crazy strong.
Don't get carried away.
That was something more they paid attention to with like the pre-rendered stuff, yeah. I don't even think it necessarily looks bad at all for the remaster. Like, for what it is, it's fine. It's just that the original aged well visually, I think. It probably wouldn't look bad upscaled either. I won't be trying that, but if anyone does, you probably could. Oh yeah, this is me fucking around in the menu again. Me fucking around in the menu because I was trying to figure out reviving. I was like, which one was down? Preda. Okay, bring Preda in. I didn't actually heal, so he's just dead again. There's a lot of, like, Atlas has always had this thing with their UI design. It's so good. They go like, you know, it's like cranked to 11 these days. This has a bit more function to it, though. Yeah, I like the text boxes that the PS2 version has. The remaster just uses the gradient with text and everything. But I like the text boxes. And thankfully, these PS2 games had some pretty high quality pre-rendered assets. Though that is the thing with them being 60 FPS, and also the models are pretty sharp. But going back to like good examples. The thing is, they wanted these busy streets too, right? So that's another reason they went pre-rendered, so they can put more characters on screen, and they come and go.
What? You want to know who I'm working with?
I did have some occasional slowdown on PS2, like after a battle. It was like slow down as it loads back into the area. Did the OG have inverted camera? Actually, there is no camera control. Yeah, the only camera control in the remaster is in battle. The original is all fixed camera, so there is no camera to be inverted or set to be inverted. Everything is fixed angles.
Ready for this?
The changed combat's the only reason to have the camera in the first place. Camera like that in the first place. These menus right here, the cherry blossoms and everything, that's nice. I don't think I put any time code for like the main menus, but the main menus are also nice. I can go for it in either version.
Don't worry. Since we bumped off her captor, she's been returned to the mortal world. Let's hurry back and speak with that girl.
Yeah, ray tracing hasn't always been super new tech. It's just been optimized. It's the most like optimized and efficient way of being able to do it on consumer grade hardware. What we have recently. But there's N64 games with ray tracing. Oh, that's something I need to check. So this girl here, she charges a lot of money to heal you. Man, that's cool. I need to see what I did here. Because I think it was so little in the remaster, I didn't pay attention to it. And there's multiple ways you heal and recover anyway. Alt. Let me turn this down as I do this. Okay, let me see here. Oh yeah, there's stealth strikes too. I didn't really do it, but there's you know, an innocent amount of stealth mechanic. Fuck, my neck. So how much does she charge here? Never mind, we'll find out after this battle. Let me bring up the audio on the left as I scrub through the right. It is higher quality in the remaster. Music's higher quality in the remaster, but that's like on a compression level. Not even like too noticeable. So what does she charge here? Nothing. She charges nothing. So there's many ways of getting free heals. Because yeah, she would charge 500 there. And what I had to do in the remaster in this area is right before the boss in the place we've been looking at. In the remaster, they added a save space like pretty close to that like block where the boss is. The only save location in the PS2 version is back at the beginning. That's like 2 blocks away, you know? So I did have to, after I got the Agatheon, the one I needed, I did walk all the way back to the save point, save, and then come back. I've had too much experience with these games to not be like super careful on saving. Also, the remaster has 20 save slots, the PS2 version has 10. And yeah, again, now that I'm paying attention to the PS2 noises. Let's go back to this point. What am I doing? Oh, I'm healing with Alp. Oh, when I'm doing the melee combo on PS2, I'm only doing the first 2 hits because you can cancel them into block way faster. If you do all 3 hits, you're in a ton of recovery you're in a very long recovery animation. You're gonna get constantly blown up, but you cancel out of your animation to block way faster if you only do 2 hits. So I did that a lot to be safe, so you constantly see that. As to why I'm not finishing a lot of combos. The game also should look a little better. On PS2 to see it. It is a... This is a video of... This is a 1080p resolution video. It was rendered at recorded OBS at that. And then VLC shrinks it a little bit because I have both windows next to each other on my ultra-wide monitor. And then it's resized a little bit in OBS, again, for what you see. It's not terribly much. I wouldn't let it be like that if it was actually like that detrimental. It's a little sharper on real hardware. A smidge. Alright, we've taken a look at all weekend. We've gone through what I wanted to show. I guess since we're at this point, I will also just, the game's still on my capture card. I can just pull it up and do a battle or 2. Can I? Yeah, I should be able to. Wait, no, I could just do it here. Move all these. Move that. Oh, I didn't put all this back. I was gonna walk through here for like 2 seconds. To show the PS2 version at like full everything. Yeah. No, yeah, it's still, yeah, that's what I thought. It's control. Play it off my PC, I don't want to turn to the left. Where was I? Ooh, loading. Because the game's been idle for a little bit. And also is being played off a hard drive. You have to confirm every time you pick something up in the original. You just pick it up in the remaster. You still do the animation where you lean down and think, but there's no extra confirmation. Save myself a lot of frustration just doing the AoE when it spawns more zombies. By Switch 1 physical to play on Switch 2. I think if you're playing like on docked, if you're playing on your TV, I think you can get away with that, yeah. The only, and I bring that up because the only concern would be if you were playing the Switch 1 version undocked on Switch 2, it will be blurry. Undocked Switch 2 version is 1080 undocked. Undocked Switch 1 version is 720p even on Switch 2. But if you're playing on your TV, you're fine. And also, I guess, if you don't care about the blur. Frustrating to have to make that choice. Careful, buddy. Yeah, I think on YouTube that it's probably zero difference than what you were seeing anyway. They're using now. Well, the thing is, the Switch 1 is such old hardware. Well, it's no, yeah, I don't know what their plan is on that for the new hardware for the 720. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I feel like if there was something they could have done about it, they would have. Because otherwise, it feels like a glaring oversight. If not an oversight, it's supposed to be a dumb incentive to make these choices like we have to make here with Raidou, you know? Anyway, a lot to be said about that. Thanks everyone for joining. Certainly, it's so far along. I'm pretty sure the Tales of Grace's port review will be the next one, and pretty soon. Though I'm still at the recording phase, but hopefully it's sooner rather than later. And then, what is it? I might do something with Raidou right after. The next port review might just be Raidou. After Tales, that's on the list. Well, I don't think Trails will be out by then. Xenoblade. That's the plan though then, so much coming up. Streams, I'm not sure of at the moment, but we'll see. These opportunities just kind of have to pop up when they pop up. But yeah, that's it for this. Thanks everyone for tuning in and taking a look at Raidou and everything. Appreciate everyone being here, and yeah, until next time, thank you all for the continued support.